what I have here are two pens. That one is an old or vintage Imperial IV, and one is a more modern 1995 1998 Triumph Imperial 2555, aka an Imperial IV. Now, why would I say aka? Because this two pens, now you can see they're almost identical, but they decided in the late 90s to bring back the look of the Imperial IV, and they came out with the basic one, which was model number 2330, cartridge only filled with chrome plated band, steel nib, and chrome plated clip. With this one, 2555, they called this the Imperial IV because the original Imperial IV, which you see sitting here, and kind of the giveaway would be, well, you can kind of see where it says Sheaffer made in USA, but the touchdown, the kind of the slit where the touchdown filler pulls out, but both of them look identical. Band size is the same. The clips are almost identical, both with the white dots. If I were to take the two here, you can see that both of them have the squared off ends on the cap. Flip it around, both squared off ends on the bottom side of the barrel. I pop the caps off. Again, almost identical looking nibs. Again, both of them have three little sections here for securing the cap. Now, of course, the big difference, aside from one being a squeeze converter and one being a touchdown, would be the electroplated 23 karat gold electroplated nib on the newer one, whereas 14 karat gold on the original, or I don't want to say original, but older, or I guess vintage versions, the original versions. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. The original versions of the Imperial IV. All plastic design. And it is a fairly light pen. Another difference that you can see here would be the clip. It says USA on one side and Sheaffer on the other. And it would say Sheaffer. Both of these say Sheaffer. This one around the barrel says Sheaffer made in USA. And Sheaffer's, the original ones when they came out in 1960, I believe between 1960 and 1964, before they changed from plural Sheaffers to Sheaffer singular, was around that time. So the older Imperial IVs would be marked Sheaffers, whereas something after, I believe it was 64, 65, would be called a Sheaffer. So both of these, I believe mine is from the 1970s. Anyway, those are distinguishing marks that if you are wondering whether you're getting a original Sheaffer Imperial IV or if you're getting a Sheaffer Triumph Imperial 2555 or whatever. I mean, I think it's like burgundy would be 2556. So you get the last number would change based on the color. Same thing with the chrome, which would be 2330 would be the base black, and then you have burgundy would be 2331. Dimensions on this thing are capped as it is now would be 5 3/4 of an inch or 13.7 centimeters. Uncapped would be 4 5/8 or 11.7 centimeters. Posted, it's coming in at 5 5/8 or 14.2 centimeters. Barrel diameter is 10.6 millimeters. Clip length on this is 38.7 millimeters, and nib length. And you might be asking, why do you care about nib length? Well, I started doing that on these Sheaffers because some of the older Sheaffer, or some of the Sheaffers, depending on the models, will look exactly the same. It's just that some of them have longer, the inlaid triangle or diamond shaped nib will be shorter and stockier, and some of them will be longer. And I don't understand the whole Triumph thing, because as you can see, the Triumph nib wrapped around the feed, whereas this one is the diamond shaped inlaid, traditional diamond shaped inlaid. And so anyway, nib length is 32 millimeters. And now let's weigh this thing. Let me find the cap. $17.34 grams, and Parker Jotter traditional 15.29, big disposable 5 grams, and just for the hell of it, because I don't think I had the scale when I did the Imperial IV and the Lifetime 2000, so this would be 17.36. What? You're kidding, this is the first time I'm doing this. Oh, exactly the same. Huh. So the mechanism in the touchdown system on this pen, oh, let's see. 7.11, that's the original. 6.93. Not really that much of a difference. Right. Yeah, I would have thought the touchdown would weigh more than this thing with the converter, but wow, that is dead on. How in the hell? And neither of them are inked up. Like I said, I just flushed this one out. Huh, well, that's pretty cool, actually. I wonder if they did that on purpose. I wonder if they said, you know what we got to do? You know, we got to make this thing exactly the same. And took this pen and said, this pen has to weigh the same amount as this. It has to look exactly the same. You know, I didn't go back and redo the measurements on this. I already have a video on that, but yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, anyway, you have the 1990s Triumph Imperial 255, aka the Imperial IV, and then you have an original Imperial. Yeah, I mean, it'd be difficult to tell. I mean, if the original Imperials did come in cartridge, I do not have a cartridge or converter version of the original Imperial IVs, but I don't know if you'd be able to tell the difference. Well, you would, because you'd have to look at that nib. So that's I guess well, that's a huge difference considering the price of gold today. But anyway, yeah, 23 karat gold electric plated is probably, it's stainless steel, is probably not worth anything, whereas 14 karat gold nib, however much this weighs, we can take that off. I'm not obviously not going to damage or destroy my pens, but yeah, it might weigh a little bit less than a gram. And if gold is selling at $100 a gram, then this one is obviously a more valuable and more, I would imagine, sought after. Probably a lot more of these produced than these anyway, considering they made these things for decades, 1960 all the way, I don't know, maybe 1980s. So anyway, yeah, there it is. That is the Sheaffer Triumph Imperial 2555, or Imperial IV. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, click like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.